Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to review Dracula the Undead by Dave Stoker and Ian Holt, and it's been a while. Hi, I hope you're well. I'm kind of upset because today is Wednesday and I had a long weekend. We had a mini break and I go back to work tomorrow, and I was filming a vlog since Friday. And I edited the vlog on my phone and the footage got corrupted. And I still have the raw footage, but I don't know if I have the strength to edit everything again. And yeah, that's kind of upsetting. But yeah, I don't know. I was just going to, I was sitting on the couch and I was going to look through what I have so I could schedule it for tomorrow, and it's not there. So I just feel kind of silly because now I don't think I have the time to edit everything again because I'm planning on vlogging again this weekend. So yeah, so here we are. I've decided to just sit down and film a sit-down video. So I'm going to review Dracula the Undead by Dave Stoker, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and Ian Holt. What can I say? So I just watched my review for Dracula, which I filmed last year. I mentioned this book and I said that I didn't know if I wanted to read it because I watched a review and basically everybody was saying that Dracula is seen as this very nice sort of monster, but nice, charming, and I didn't know if I liked that. And I uploaded a couple of photos of this book. I got this book for Christmas. It is a Portuguese translation. The cover is not the most beautiful, but I do like the spine. And I uploaded some photos of the book, and a lot of people commented saying, oh, Dracula is better. I didn't like Dracula the Undead that much. And I found that to be interesting because I started reading Dracula the Undead, and it's really fast-paced and action-packed, so I was actually enjoying it. I was flying through the book. I had to stop in January a little bit because I got sick, and then my fiance got sick, and it took us a while to recover there. We had the flu, really bad. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm enjoying it. Is it a bit far-fetched? It is. It is a bit far-fetched. There's a lot of shock factor. It seems like the authors are trying to just make you gasp. And they're doing it in a way that's kind of forced. But no, if you're just reading it for, the entertainment, if you're not a hardcore Dracula fan, I consider myself a fan, but I'm open to variations of the story, and I was enjoying it. And then something happened. So I usually divide my reviews in two parts. The first part is spoiler free, so I talk to you a little bit about the book. In the second part, I talk to you about specific things. So besides what I've just said, there's not a lot for me to say without spoiling. So if you're watching this video, just know that now I'm going to talk about spoilers because I need it. I need it. So we are following the old gang, okay, from the original Dracula. Mina, Jonathan, Arthur, Lucy is mentioned as well. I'm trying to remember all of their names. Jack, Dr. Stewart, if that's the name, Van Helsing makes an appearance. So I was like, okay, I like it. Let's focus on the gang and see what they're doing, because this is set in the early 1900s. So this is set in 1912, more or less. And I was excited. And then, first of all, It took a long time for Dracula to make an appearance. Like, Dracula is mentioned throughout the book, but it takes him a long time to show up. And then, the real enemy here is not Dracula. It's Elizabeth Bathory, who was a content in Hungary, I think. This character is inspired by a real historical personality, a woman who was found guilty of murdering maybe hundreds, I'm not sure, dozens, hundreds of young women. And apparently, as far as I know, she used to bathe in their blood in order to maintain her youth. And so she's sort of seen as like the female Dracula. And she's here. She's here. And there's more. Dracula is her cousin. But I'm not done. Is she really Dracula's cousin? I don't think so. But okay, I'm still here for the ride. We're trying to get Bathory because she's a real villain here. But obviously, you have the dumb detectives. You always have the dumb detectives. They don't know what they're doing. They think they know everything. So this detective is trying to find a way to sort of gain his reputation back because he screwed up. Let me tell you how. He was chasing after Jack the Ripper and he tripped. And since then, his career has gone down the drain. And now he thinks that he is, I mean, it's been years since Jack the Ripper's murders, but he thinks that, he's back because people have been getting murdered on the street in brutal ways. But obviously he doesn't think it's a vampire, so it's Jack the Ripper. Who is Jack the Ripper? Van Helsing, he says. So Van Helsing shows up. He is almost dying. He can't even walk straight. He's almost 80 years old, and this guy still says that it's Van Helsing. If not, then he has someone who's doing the things for him. So you got Jack the Ripper involved, and that's when I thought, okay, now I see what people mean when they say this is far-fetched, this is written like it's a film. I can see this working as a movie. This would be an awesome movie. Weird, forced, but super entertaining. This is action-packed. You have Dracula, you have Bathory, and you have Jack the Ripper. And then you have Van Helsing, almost dying. This is just, it's great. It's great. There's more. Mina and Jonathan are married. They have a kid. The kid doesn't know anything about what happened. He's a grown man, but he's still stunning. They don't get along at all. A lot of things happen. It would take me a long time to explain this whole book. So I'm just focusing on the really weird ass parts because there are lots. Apparently, Jonathan never got over the fact that Mina hesitated when she had to choose between Dracula and Jonathan. She hesitated. I actually don't remember the details exactly because I read Dracula, the original Dracula, a few years ago. I need to reread that. But yeah, he never got over that. I understand. So, but their marriage went down the drain and they are not happy. As far as Dracula goes, it takes him a long time to show up. And then when he does, we don't really understand, or at least I didn't. Maybe it's just, it's way too subtle for me. I don't understand how he's alive. He's not supposed to be. They kill him. But you don't really understand it. It's just confusing because Dracula is not bad at all. He's actually a really nice guy. He's charming. He's charming, okay? I could totally see Gary Oldman playing him again. Wow, this Dracula? Whew, goodness, he is charming. He's not supposed to be. The Dracula from Dracula was a vicious monster, and this guy literally, it's the sweetest thing. And it's just so, and they go for a ride in the car. It just, oh my goodness. So, a lot of things just don't make sense. But it was a page turner, I have to tell you. I was laughing because I think it's hilarious the way they just sort of, the twists and turns this story had, but it just makes you want to continue reading. You have two groups. You have one group that thinks Dracula is evil and he's responsible for everything because they don't know that Elizabeth Bathory is out there. They don't know of her existence. And then you have the other group that knows about her existence and knows that Dracula is not the root of all evil. She is, and they're fighting against each other. And let me tell you, this book is extremely explicit. I actually blushed there. Goodness. I was just reading this in the kitchen. I actually had to read it to my fiance because I was like, I was not expecting that. Way too graphic, let me tell you. If you're not a fan of that, and I don't recommend this to a younger audience because very, very graphic, but okay. What else? Quincy, Mina's son, who was named after Quincy Morris, is having a very hard time understanding all of this. And the biggest spoiler, I'm going to say it. There's a disclaimer. I'll have it in the title so everybody knows this is a big spoiler. Jonathan is not his dad. Dracula is. Dracula is Quincy's dad. He actually has some Dracula blood in him, so he can hear his mother's thoughts. Excuse me, what? There's more. I'm not done. Remember when, if you haven't watched my review for Dracula, I'll have it somewhere here, but Dracula follows Bram Stoker. It's like a fictionalized account of Bram Stoker's life dealing with a real vampire, and that's how he got the inspiration to write Dracula. And at the end of Dracula, he meets Mina. Mina goes to his house. They talk. And Bram Stoker is here in this book. He's much older and he's trying to get Dracula to turn Dracula, the novel, into a play. He wants to show it to the world because it was not very well received by the audience, by the public. And Quincy just happens to walk by the theater one day and he watches a little bit of the rehearsal and he gathers that the character playing, the character on stage is named Jonathan Harker. And he found that to be very strange. And so he talks to Bram Stoker and he says, my mom is Mina, my dad is Jonathan Harker. These names, it's amazing how you got these names, And Bram Stoker says that he has never heard about those names. Van Helsing told him the story. He has never heard about these people. Van Helsing told him the story and as a way to just sort of get it out there, and he turned it into a book. I mean, unless I'm missing something, that's what happened. So I don't understand. Is Dracula and Dracula the Undead connected? Are they supposed to be just completely separate entities? Because I was so happy when I read Dracula that Mina showed up, and now I get here and Bram Stoker is just obnoxious. He's a very old, obnoxious man. And he says that he has never talked to these people. Van Helsing told him the story. It was Van Helsing. So why is me... And then Van Helsing's a vampire? Oh. This book was an emotional roller coaster. Would I recommend it? I wouldn't. I would recommend Dracula instead. But I also liked the entertainment factor in this book. It's very entertaining, I have to tell you. But, just know that it's going to be up and down the entire time. It's very, very crazy like that. towards the end, Titanic makes an appearance. I liked it. I had a really nice time. I'm just saying, if you are a very like hardcore Dracula fan, you won't like this book because it's just so forced. There are so many things happening, so many different plot lines. Read the book and let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have read this, if you plan on reading it. I can see myself rereading this book again. Just like I do have the idea of reading all three books in order. So Dracula is supposed to be the sequel, so the prequel. So I would read that first, and then Dracula by Bram Stoker, and then this one. This book talks a lot about Dracula, the original one, and if you're not well versed in the story, or if you are like me and you don't remember all the details, it might be a bit difficult. But other than that, I think it's still an interesting ride. It's just, I was not expecting all of this. It's just like, oh my God, what is happening? But if you are not a fan of like getting the story all changed and like topsy-turvy, just read Dracula, because I still think it's a very good book, very well written. This book is well written. It's just that the things that were added, just why do you need Jack the Ripper here? It just, why do you need all the graphic content? That's another question. Yeah, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.